Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I'm a Course in Miracles student now for 40 years. I'm doing the lessons this year, and as I read the lesson, I ask Jesus for clarity, and then I write whatever comes into my mind. And that's what I'm sharing today. So let's get started. This is lesson 26. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Paragraph 1 says, it is surely obvious that if you can be attacked, you are not invulnerable. You see attack as a real threat. That is because you believe that you can really attack, and what would have effects through you must also have effects on you. It is this law that will ultimately save you, but you are misusing it now. You must therefore learn how it can be used for your own best interest rather than against them. It seems so apparent that we can be attacked. Someone can attack our reputations, our bank statements, our relationships, our bodies. How is it that we are invulnerable? When I wondered about this, I remembered that I am one with all and in God. This world and its bodies, including the one I am associated with now, are an illusion. If there is only one, then who is attacking? If there is no one to attack, then where is the sense of being attacked and attacking coming from? It can only be from my own mind. It comes from the ego thought system that believes in the many. From the point of view of the ego thought system, we attacked God, and now he is attacking us. We defend ourselves from God by projecting our guilt onto others. Now there is the belief that we are vulnerable and in need of defense. And what would have effects through you must also have effects on you. If I can attack, I can be attacked. And paragraph 2 says, because your attack thoughts will be projected, you will fear attack. And if you fear attack, you must believe that you are not invulnerable. Attack thoughts, therefore, make you vulnerable in your own mind, which is where the attack thoughts are. Attack thoughts and invulnerability cannot be accepted together. They contradict each other. So all ego thoughts are projected, as Jesus tells us in chapter 2. All thinking produces form at some level. As we project our attack thoughts, we fear that the attack will be returned, and thus we will feel vulnerable. We cannot believe in attack and believe in our invulnerability at the same time. So how is it that the world and bodies seem to be real? Also in chapter 2, Jesus explains this phenomenon. He tells us that what you believe is true for you. So even though it is literally impossible for us to be vulnerable, our belief in attack has convinced us that we are. Just as our belief in separation has convinced us that we are separate individuals in a world outside God. Paragraph 3 and 4. The idea for today introduces the thought that you always attack yourself first. If attack thoughts must entail the belief that you are vulnerable, their effect is to weaken you in your own eyes. Thus, they have attacked your perception of yourself. And because you believe in them, you can no longer believe in yourself. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. Practice with today's idea will help you understand that vulnerability or invulnerability is a result of your own thoughts. Nothing except your thoughts can attack you. Nothing except your thoughts can make you think you are vulnerable. And nothing except your thoughts can prove to you this is not so. So attack thoughts have far greater effects on us than simply making life scary. Projection makes perception, and so our belief in attack has caused us to attack our perception of ourselves. Now, instead of seeing ourselves as the extension of God and thus invulnerable, We see ourselves as bodies that are vulnerable. And because we feel vulnerable, we attack in defense. And because we attack, we feel vulnerable and in need of defense. What an awful cycle we have caused ourselves to be caught in. And worse yet, this thinking has caused us to forget who we are. There's good news, though. We are not trapped. Our practice is going to help us break free of this cycle. We will begin to learn that only our thoughts hurt us. There is nothing outside us, and so there's nothing that can attack us. The practice will show us how this is true, and forgiveness will set us free. We're doing this to ourselves, and we can also change our thinking and stop doing it. And so the next several paragraphs are the practice for today. Paragraph 5, 6 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. A full 2 minutes should be attempted for each of them, although the time may be reduced to a minute if the discomfort is too great. Do not reduce it further. Paragraph 6, the practice period should begin with repeating the idea for today, then closing your eyes and reviewing the unresolved questions whose outcomes are causing your concern. The concern may take the form of depression, worry, anger, a sense of imposition, fear, foreboding, or preoccupation. Any problem as yet unsettled that tends to recur in your thoughts during the day is a suitable subject. You will not be able to use very many for any one practice period because a longer time than usual should be spent with each one. Today's idea should be applied as follows. Paragraph 7. First, name the situation. I am concerned about blank. Then go over every possible outcome that has occurred to you in that connection and which has caused you concern, referring to each one quite specifically, saying, I am afraid blank will happen. Paragraph 8, if you're doing the exercises properly, you should have some 5 or 6 distressing possibilities available for each situation you use, and quite possibly more. It is much more helpful to cover a few situations thoroughly than to touch on a larger number. As a list of anticipated outcomes for each situation continues, you will probably find some of them, especially those that occur to you toward the end, less acceptable to you. Try, however, to treat them all alike to whatever extent you can. And 9, after you've named each outcome of which you are afraid, tell yourself, that thought is an attack upon myself. Conclude each practice period by repeating today's idea to yourself once more. I had the perfect idea to work with this morning. I don't like to take medicine and ever do so lightly. If I feel that I must, I read the side effects before I take it. If I'm concerned, I weigh the benefits against the possible harm before I decide. I developed nerve pain, and recently it became worse. I had 2 doctors prescribe the same medication, and after researching the problem, could not find any better alternative. I don't like the possible side effects, but I couldn't see any other possibility, so I started taking it. Still, I worried about it, and I don't want worried thoughts in my mind because they are an attack on my peace. So this is how my practice went. I am concerned about taking this medicine. That thought is an attack upon myself. I am afraid that it will cause more problems than it solves. That thought is an attack upon myself. I'm afraid that if I start using it, I will have to take it forever. That thought is an attack upon myself. I am afraid that it will affect my happiness. That thought is an attack upon myself. I am afraid that it will cause me to gain weight. That thought is an attack upon myself. I'm afraid it will affect my vision. That thought is an attack upon myself. I am afraid that stopping the medicine will cause really unpleasant symptoms. That thought is an attack upon myself. As I did this practice, I began to see how these thoughts were an attack on myself and that they were making me feel more vulnerable than the pain did. Also, as I did the practice, I felt the weight of the attack thoughts lifting from me. What took their place was gratitude. I began to feel gratitude for the magical solution to my magical problem. Perhaps as I continue to clear my mind of attack thoughts, I will no longer attack this body and so not need magic. And so my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. So thank you for watching my video. And if you found it helpful, please like it and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much. And I will be back tomorrow with another lesson.